Imran Khan set to appear in court after a controversial arrest warrant is suspended. The former PM will be formally charged with selling state gifts for profit. Is this justice taking its course, or is Khan being taken down by political opponents? I'm Andrea Sankey, and today's newsmaker is Imran Khan. The Islamabad High Court has suspended arrest warrants issued for Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf chairman Imran Khan until March 18th. That's when he's set to appear in court in person. After Khan argued his life would be in danger if he left the safety of his supporters and his home, the Chief Justice also instructed Capitol Police to provide him with full security. Scores of supporters barricaded Khan's house today while waiting for the ruling. Armed with batons and iron rods, they remained stationed outside his home. Earlier this week, Khan's Lahore neighborhood was the scene of battles between hundreds of supporters and security forces. On Tuesday, a court-ordered attempt to arrest Khan triggered clashes. But the following day, the High Court halted the order to allow a cricket tournament to take place nearby and avoid major traffic disruptions. Police had been trying to force Khan to attend a hearing. Now, he's accused of selling some $2 million worth of state gifts given to him while he was prime minister. Khan says the sales were not illegal, and his supporters agree.
We will not allow Imran Khan to be arrested under any circumstances. We will stand here like a wall of steel. Anyone who wants to arrest Khan will have to go over our dead bodies.
Their purpose is not to arrest Imran Khan. Actually, they want to kill Imran Khan. They want to destroy Imran Khan and remove him from their path.
Until fair and free elections are held, and until our party gives us new directions, we are standing here like a wall of steel. Any bullet, any storm has to pass through our bodies before it can go in.
Imran Khan has a security threat. The government provided him security, but they took it back. We will lay our lives down for Khan. We can spend 1 to 2 months here.
Well, since being ousted from office in a no-confidence vote last year, Khan has been a very vocal critic of the government. He crossed the country delivering speeches, he called for snap elections, and he's put his successor, Shehbaz Sharif, under pressure through mass protests. He also blames Sharif for an attempt on his life in November. Now, Khan claims there was no reason for police to arrest him this week, as he had taken protective bail until his court date. His party argues the government simply wants them disqualified from taking part in upcoming elections. Now, some ministers actually say the courts are biased toward Khan and are set to rule in his favor.
This has become a joke. Everyone knows courts cannot question Imran Khan. It's a message to 220 million people that law for Imran Khan is different. His crime is different. His punishment is different.
So, has this become farcical? Well, some in the government now seem to think so, and Khan's supporters have said this is a ploy all along. So, let's talk further about what is really happening. And joining me now from Narawal, Pakistan, is Ahsan Iqbal. He's Pakistan's Minister for Planning, Development and Reforms. From Lahore, we have Asad Rahim Khan. He's a barrister and constitutional lawyer. And from Islamabad, Imran Ismail, leader and founding member of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party. Thanks all so much for being with us. Ahsan, let me begin with you and ask what this is all for. If the government has fought so hard to have Imran Khan tried on these charges, now only to hear your colleague, a government minister, say today that the courts work in his favor and can't or won't be objective in this case.
Well, first of all, let me say that if government wanted to arrest Mr. Khan, it was not a big deal. We could have done it 6 months ago, 10 months ago, 4 months ago. This whole episode that is happening, it is one of Mr. Khan's own making. He is refusing to appear before the courts where he has been summoned to appear for his defense. He has been abusing the judges. He has been selectively appearing when he wishes in any court and Mostly he does not appear before the courts. Now, in any civilized society, such behavior is not accepted by any court of law. We have all been subjected to false cases when Imran Khan was the prime minister. I have personally spent more than 2 months in solitary confinement and in sentence penalty cell in the jail on a charge which was thrown out by the High Court. But whenever we were called before any court, whenever we were called by any institution for investigation, we all appeared. And no one has ever run away. So he is currently a fugitive of the court, and court has issued orders that he should appear. And I hope that he surrenders himself before the court. That is what any civilized society expects from someone who claims to be champion of rule of law.
Okay, I mean, it certainly sounds like he will appear. I mean, Asad, let me ask you, he is set to appear on the 18th of March, but what does it mean for the courts to hear from the government at this point that the government believes they are completely biased and can't rule against him and actually, almost in a sense, work for Imran Khan?
Thank you for having me. It is a very unfortunate development. It goes in the favor of both the government and the opposition to constantly affirm that our judiciary is independent and impartial. And that is also its constitutional role. What we have been seeing increasingly over the past few months is that, subject to what the court decides, our political parties tend to either laud it or condemn it. And that doesn't speak well for our concept of a separation of powers. Mr. Ahsan Iqbal is absolutely right. Under Imran Khan's government, an entirely baseless case was made against him and against very many of Mr. Khan's political opponents. The constructive solution to something like that, though, now that Mr. Iqbal's party is in power, would be to not perpetuate the same. Register frivolous cases against Mr. Khan, use cases as a means for intimidation or political victimization. And as and when such cases are registered, they should only be a means for accountability and a means to punish serious crimes. So when the government doubles down on its rhetoric, it actually acts as a way to delegitimize the judiciary, a judiciary that has no defense of its own, a judiciary that actually cannot rhetorically strike back at the government. It tends to really weaken our legal system overall.
Ahsan Iqbal, I want to get your response to that. I mean, you're hearing a constitutional lawyer say, please don't perpetuate the same vicious cycle and discredit the courts by using it as a political tool.
Well, what we are saying is not something that only our political parties have been alleging. Actually, Pakistan Bar Council and many leading constitutional lawyers have been also demanding that the judiciary has not been conducting itself very fairly. There is a handful of judges who are almost on all the benches, and people do say that they know whenever they are announced that what judgment they are going to give. When Mr. Khan was in power, he dissolved the local bodies in Punjab province. Supreme Court decided that that is an unconstitutional act. It restored those institutions, but for 7 months, Mr. Khan just ignored those Supreme Court orders, and Supreme Court never took any notice. So there is, some ground to believe that Khan Saab has been having some special dispensation from our judiciary. When we were under arrest or we were facing these false charges, our cases were deferred for months. But, in case of Khan Saab and his party, these cases are taken up instantly. Within 1 or 2 days, he gets the relief he wants. No one has been able to touch him, even though the judiciary is saying that he should be taken into custody and brought to appear before the court of law. He has been abusing the judges, but the judiciary closes its eye on those accusations or abuses that Khan has made.
I mean, it's tragic to hear, in a sense, that it's working both ways in this negative manner. But let me turn to Imran Ismail, because in a way, this is actually reinforcing the case that Imran Khan has made, saying this is not about me actually appearing in court. It's about stopping me from rallying my supporters and running for office again.
Yes. See, I mean, the basic problem is that these guys sitting government, they are running away from elections. Now, there are two elections are to be held in two different provinces. One is KPK and the other is Punjab. And the elections are to be held on the 30th. And yet, we are not allowed to rally around. We are not allowed to do our big rallies for the election campaigning. And what they do is, whenever we announce something, they send police instead on our house, and police, they come in as if they're Pablo Escobar sitting in there. They start shelling, they start firing straight on people, they start using water cannons. And if this is how you're going to run an election campaign, these guys are running away from elections because they have not been able to provide any solution to the problem. Instead, they are the problem themselves. They have become the problem themselves. Now, I was listening to Ahsan Iqbal vehemently denying that Imran Khan is a popular leader at the moment in Pakistan, and he's saying that whenever they've been asked to come to the court, they appear at court. This is wrong. When Nawaz Sharif was asked to come appear to the court, he went with the people. They attacked the court, the Supreme Court. The judges had to run away from there. They tried to bribe and buy them off. And then what happened? The same judges, now the Ahsan Iqbal is accusing them of favoring Imran Khan. The same judges gave Nawaz Sharif a way to go out of Pakistan and get himself treated with whatever disease he said he had, and he never came back to Pakistan. He's not ready to come back, even his own government.
Okay.
He's a fugitive at the moment.
Okay. I'm sorry, I do want to give everybody equal time, and there's a lot really to look at. Let me please come back to Asad, because one of the issues here is that Imran Khan has made the case that he does not feel safe right now, leaving, the safety of his home. Is it a legitimate excuse? Because there was already one assassination attempt. The court he's supposed to attend has been attacked several times before. He has legitimate concerns that he would be in danger. So why, this might sound, well, actually it doesn't sound naive at all, I don't think. Why does he not just attend via video link and none of these issues would actually be here?
No, that's a very good question. There is now a growing trend within Pakistan's superior courts, that is to say the Supreme Court and the High Court, to be able to facilitate litigants. They are now streamlining a video link. That's not the case, though, for the trial court. Our trial courts are actually phasing in video link, but the speed with which they could bring this technological innovation leaves much to be desired. And from what I understand, the PTI's own lawyers have also made a case for a video link, but because our overwhelming jurisprudence still says that in a case where there is a complaint or a criminal complaint, a person has to be physically present, that still holds the field. Having said all of this, though, there is very much a legitimate case to answer. In October, Mr. Khan was shot, in fact, in full public view. It was a full-blown assassination attempt. And we've seen previous assassinations on serving and former prime ministers in 1951 and in 2007. So should the trial courts dispense with the need for a physical presence, seeing as Mr. Khan has said that he's no flight risk, he's not going anywhere, that might be a good constructive solution as far as the existing security problem is concerned.
Right. Let me ask Ahsan Iqbal if you think that's a constructive solution in any way, because let's be honest, Imran Khan's circumstances are unique. It's not necessarily that he's above the law, but he is a former prime minister, and there was already an attempt on his life. So he's not just your average Pakistani that needs to appear in person.
Well, let me say, first of all, that is just an excuse that Imran Khan makes, because 3 days ago, he led a public rally. As and when he desires, he goes out in public and leads the rally, and he led a rally as late as a couple of days ago. But when it comes to appearing before the court, he says that he has a security issue. So this is just a lame excuse that he's making. So I think it's just about simple point that a person who says that he's an embodiment of the cause of rule of law and he lectures the whole nation on what is Western democracy is not willing to accept the jurisdiction of the court of law. He's not willing to surrender himself before law. Should now everyone who has a mob behind him, anyone who can gather few hundred people to throw petrol bombs at the police should be free from appearing before the court of law. This is as simple.
But
He's just an ordinary citizen. Former prime ministers in Pakistan have earlier faced the courts of law. I had an assassination attempt on me, but I have appeared before the courts. I have always been responding to the under Khan government. Whenever I was called by any institution, I appeared.
I understand. It's just, I have to point out, I mean, it's such a contradiction that we're hearing that everyone should, this is the rule of law, everyone needs to abide by it, but then at the same time saying there is no rule of law because the courts are biased, they're used as a political tool, they don't rule fairly. I don't understand how it can work properly, why anyone would abide by the rule of law if there's an admission that the rule of law is biased.
Yeah, there is a case because in 2018, Mr. Nawaz Sharif was thrown out through a judicial coup. And those judges who were part of the conspiracy to throw out Mr. Nawaz Sharif to disqualify him from his office on a very frivolous charge that he did not declare 10,000 dirham salary from his son's company as his asset, and he was declared ineligible and removed from office as part of a conspiracy to bring Mr. Imran Khan in power. So as long as those judges are there, they continue to exercise their influence in his favor.
Right. So again, you're saying that Imran Khan should submit to a system that really has never worked properly in the past. It's an extremely frustrating reality then that everyone is describing here, so I'm not sure what the end game is supposed to be. But let me move on to some other issues. I'll go back to Imran Ismail now. Months ago, Imran Khan was obviously pushing very hard for a snap election. He still is, but that was because, the official election is scheduled for October. At the beginning, when he was initially pushing, that seemed very far away. Now it's in 7 months' time. So if the government's aim is to keep your party and Imran Khan from contesting that election, what are you expecting to happen between now and October?
See, we are very scared and afraid that another attempt on Imran Khan's life would be made. The Ministry of Interior, the sitting government, which Ahsan Iqbal is representing right now, they have intimated that Imran Khan's life is in danger. And the guy who shot Imran Khan, the guy who tried to assassinate him, has been provided with the facility of video link because they think that his life is in danger because bringing him to the same court where Imran Khan is supposed to visit every day. And today he's going to the court. If you look at Pakistani televisions right now, they are showing the live scenes of him appearing in the court, and he's exposed to people. This is very different from what Ahsan Iqbal is trying to say, that he is leading the rally. He was leading the rally in a bulletproof car. Now, here he is, out in the people, thousands of people are there. Anyone can take a shot. His life is in serious danger. And these guys are playing with his life, and they're enjoying their little games. Nawaz Sharif, on the contrary, was not disqualified by a group of judges who hated him, but he was disqualified on Panama Papers. And Panama Papers has nothing to do with Imran Khan. It was an international papers. So this is how it's going, from here onwards. But we are trying to safeguard his life. We are trying to protect him as much as we can because he's an asset to the country at the moment. He's the most popular leader by any survey. If you look at him, he is sweeping the poll, and this is what is giving scares to the.
But overall, I mean, if he survives the next months, you expect him to contest the election in October, and it will be held, or do you think whatever maneuvering to take him out or disqualify him will succeed?
Well, they are trying to their level best to disqualify him on frivolous cases for the watch that he bought from the Tosha Khana and from overall they have made about 90 cases on him, 90. And the one case is, just for instance, I'm telling you that people demonstrated outside the Election Commission of Pakistan and they registered a terrorist case on Imran Khan.
Right,
So,
which has been dropped, yeah. I'll tell you what, we only have a few minutes left, so I need to ask actually Asad about the fundamental charges here that are actually part of what he is appearing on, or why he is appearing in court on March 18th, and that is about selling state gifts. I mean, explain really how serious a charge that is. He sold a watch, for example, given to him by a Saudi leader. In legal terms, how serious is it, and does the public really care?
Well, this case is about a depository for state gifts in which world leaders give you, in a personal capacity, high-value gifts from watches to household items. It varies. The issue over here is that when those items are assessed, they're undervalued, and then after that, there's a very limited percentage of the original undervaluing that you have to pay to be able to keep that gift. Having said that, that falls within the ambit of the law. That falls within the regulations prescribed for this depository of state gifts. The criminality that is alleged in Mr. Khan's case has to do with purchasing that gift, and then after that, when he sells it, the allegation is that he did not declare it in his tax returns. This, in the overall canvas of corruption cases, as far as popular perception is concerned, is thought to be a frivolous case. And the narrative became even weaker when this government released a list of records from all the way back to 2002, in which we saw that the pilferage of the state depository was actually entirely bipartisan. So you had people from all political parties taking gifts from the Tosha Khana, but the current government alleges that Mr. Khan, by not declaring it in his taxes afterwards, is part of the problem. But
Ahsan
I think Mr.
Iqbal,
Iqbal disagrees.
right.
Let me clarify.
Go ahead.
Let me clarify. The difference is that all the other leaders under the law retained those gifts by paying what was due. But what Khan has done, that he has either undervalued those gifts to get them cheaper, or he has not declared at all, or he first sold the gifts in the market, and from the proceeds of that sale, he deposited a token money. So he has actually committed a fraud under the law for the gifts, one. Number two, he's also alleged to have done massive fraud in the fundraising that he has been doing in the name of charity, and has been using that money for his political work. So Financial Times published a story on this, a detailed story. Till today, Mr. Khan has not been able to challenge that in any court of law, and the government agencies have found him to be guilty of opening fake accounts and using the charity money for his private and political purposes.
Understood. Well, we'll have, obviously there are very clear and contradictory arguments on both sides. We will have to see how the court rules in this case. One last question very quickly, last minute and a half before we go. Imran, I have to ask about the April 30th provincial vote coming up. If the PTI sweeps Punjab in particular again and wins another majority, where does this leave Pakistan and its government?
Well, it's up to the government to decide. We offered them to hold general elections earlier, but they declined. So we are going for this elections, and you will see that Imran Khan will sweep Punjab elections on April 30th, and then things will change from here, because in Pakistan, whoever wins Punjab wins the government. So it will be much more difficult for them to rule further from here on. And that's what I was telling you, it's giving them scare. And may I just reply you for the gifts that Ahsan Iqbal just mentioned. They purchased the gift at 20%, and Imran Khan purchased the gift of the value at 50%. They purchased a gift which was not allowed to be sold, like BMW cars and Mercedes cars. and Imran Khan bought whatever was allowed by law, and Ahsan Iqbal himself bought something. His whole cabinet bought something.
We will have to see what the court decides about what evidence is presented.
The list came out,
We'll have to leave it there, though, gentlemen. I'm so sorry I'm going to have to interrupt because we are completely out of time for this edition of the Newsmakers, but I'm sure we'll be checking in with you in the near future to see where all of this is going. In the meantime, I'd like to thank our viewers, of course, for being with us as well. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter, and do be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Andrea Sankey. We'll see you next time.